Hello, everybody. How are you? Happy belated Thanksgiving. Did you have a wonderful weekend? What did you do? Yes, Terry Hardin, Walt Disney's legendary Imagineer here, Muppeteer with Jim Henson's Muppets since 1989, and also a fully trademarked artist and speaker internationally. Yes. So if you want me to talk to your schools or you want me to come up and say howdy to your group, feel free to reach out to me. If you have a podcast and you need a guest, feel free to reach out to me because I want to give back as much as possible. Okay. So, how was it, guys? How was your time? Did you have a good time? Did you have fun? And you'll notice that today's topic is Strange World. And I didn't do it for clickbait, I promise you. All of a sudden, across my feed during the holidays, I'm hearing about a movie I had never heard about. And upon researching it, Disney's Strange World, everything said a major box office flop. What surprised me is many of these articles were dated like last week. How is this possible that on a Sunday, a Monday before Thanksgiving, you're already condemning this film that hasn't broke yet? That Now, the reason I'm a little sensitive about this, guys, is because the same thing happened to the Country Bears. Originally, the Country Bears movie was going to have this big spread. They were going to do a Rolling Stone article. They were going to create the Bears like an actual band, which is one of the reasons we got to meet some of the most incredible bands in history and some of the most incredible musical artists, including Elton John and Queen Latifah. Just so many. We met Bonnie Raitt, we met Don Henley, we met people that we grew up with as kids, at least I did, loved their music, and there they were standing before us eagerly participating in the Country Bears, and it was going to be a huge event. And then all of a sudden, people started dissing it on social media well before it ever aired, well before everybody, way before anyone had ever seen it. So my question to you is, it appears to me, let me say that again. It appears to me that this is what they're doing with Strange World. This is what they did to Strange World, is they put a knife through its chest before we even saw it. So I need your help because I'm not understanding what's going on. Whoops, wrong one. That's my yeah, it's Monday. But anyway, this is really important to me because it feels like what I'm feeling, I'm sure may not be the case. Okay. But I will tell you, the little tingles are happening because Country Bears got completely dissed. And as a result, had a horrible box office opening. The good news is, after it went to DVD, it rose to the number 5 family film of the year. So it was in the top 10. So much so they were thinking of doing a second Country Bears. And I was very excited to see that it was getting the love that it deserved. Now, if you've seen the film, it's weird, it's off, it's strange. And this is because in post, meaning after we shot it, they rewrote it, making it more people-centric than bear-centric. And you know as well as I do that if you love the Country Bears, what do you want to see? The Bears. So I don't think this was a good call. However, the music is sensational. One of the best soundtracks, in my opinion. I play it all the time. And one of the most fun to do. It was a real honor to be a part of the Country Bears movie. And so to see it get dissed like this when people had never seen it broke my heart. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. It just really made me sad. So it brings us to Strange World. Why? Talk to me, please. You guys are in the know. You know this Disney thing. Why is this movie being dissed so badly? What is wrong with it? Haven't seen it yet. It does look a lot like, I said it the other day, the characters look a lot like the characters in that movie where the father comes back, but it's only the bottom half. What was that movie? Anyway, they looked similar. So that's the only thing. But would that be bad that they similar and people were going to go? Was it because it was released during the Thanksgiving weekend when other things more powerful were being released? So people were choosing between that and other movies they like to see in the case of the Country Bears. And I know you're like, why should she keep bringing that up? But I'm telling you, a nerve is being struck with me. But it came up with Austin Powers. Austin Powers back in the day, if you don't remember, was huge. It was like it was like putting a beginning chef with a Bobby Flay, a Wolfgang Puck, Ebert, a Chef Ebert Keller. You're kind of like, what? You get the, it's like, right? Arnold Schwarzenegger against Pee Wee Herman. It's just crazy. There was no way we could bring forward the power that we needed on opening weekend because Austin Powers was so popular and powerful. It just blew us out of the water back in the day. So now we come back to Strange World. Is there a movie out there? I haven't been to the movies in a long time. I just got back from a trip. So is that what's going on? Is it that it was up against something else? Or let me know in the comments. I'm seriously asking you because I seriously, honestly, Scout's Honor, do not understand why this movie is being blasted. Maybe when I see it, but what's going on? I'm so confused. I'm just so confused. So I want to look to you today and maybe you can help me with that. Okay. I just thought that you all would know. You guys follow. My husband said, I usually, because of all of you, let me just say this again, because of all of you, I usually know about these movies. Like, for example, around this time, a couple of years ago, wasn't it a couple of years ago, that y'all told me about Soul? And I loved Soul. Oh, I loved Soul. I still love Soul. But I think I didn't know about it because I spend a lot of time under hot lights sculpting and don't really watch a lot of television, as I've mentioned before. So I have people that tell me, oh, have you seen this on Disney Plus? And I'll go and watch it. Like I went and saw Hocus Pocus 2. And honestly, I didn't really like it that much. I thought the beginning was really good with the little kids. And then I loved the zombie who is Doug Jones. And he's my friend. And of course, why wouldn't I love that? Actually, I didn't realize it was Doug until afterwards. And then when I saw it, I said, of course it's Doug because the acting is brilliant. So, yeah, so I enjoyed that part. But the movie itself was a little but I watched it because I don't think it's fair to give an opinion about something when you haven't seen it. I mean, how off is that? How can you just diss a movie when you haven't seen it? That's not fair. That's like, and you may say fair, what's fair? But the reality is, how can you speak on something that you haven't even seen? It's downright silly. I just think that's a silly, why? Unless you want clickbait. And I'm being told by many people who really navigate these waters, meaning social media, better than me. I mean, you can see that I navigate them. But those of you who really do it or know people who really do it understand clickbait. And I didn't understand even the term until you guys told me what it was, making you click on their channel and therefore views go up. And okay, wow. And that's what my husband was saying. He thought that a lot of this was clickbait, but it really feels like this movie is tanking. And is it tanking because it's not good, or is it tanking because so many dissed it in the future? Is my question on my situation. Before I get to you, you know what I'm going to do. I want to encourage you all to join me on my Patreon page, patreon.com/Terri Hardin. $5 a month is all it takes, and you can join for a month, dip a toe in the water, do yourself a favor, see if this is something for you. Because every week we do a Zoom call as best as I can, and we talk and we share. And if you're having a challenge, we have a private Facebook page where you can kind of let people know. And the nice thing about it, it's behind a wall. So your secrets, it's kind of like Vegas. It stays on my Patreon page. and you don't get judged for your feelings or your challenges or whatever. And then you, if you're someone who likes to put your voice in to help others, then you're perfect. You're absolutely perfect to be a part of Terry's tribe. So I invite you to be a part of Terry's tribe. There's a bunch of other things that happen as well, but the main thing is that I could use your voice in the mix as we talk and take care of each other. That's the big thing. Then there's other things like we do a giveaway, and I'm going to need to get that together because the end of the month is coming, and I didn't do it last month. So you got to understand, following an artist like me is a little hit and miss on some of things like that, but there's a lot of yummy things that happen there, and the page is amazing and the people are amazing. So many walks of life. You don't need to be an artist, you don't need to be a performing artist. You just need to be someone who's passionate about what you do. That is the true definition of an artist. Okay, I have someone who's excellent with numbers. She is an artist with numbers. She's my accountant because I'm not stupid. I have an artist who's a dentist. So an artist is going to go that extra mile because this is what they do because they're passionate about it. So if you hire an artist in the profession that you want to have help with, okay, they always say delegate. If you delegate to another artist, you're always going to benefit. You should see my garden. It's an artist, a young artist that was rising and wanted to do gardening. That's the way he paints. And we've been together for 25, almost 30 years. I've watched his kids grow. So it's been really lovely, and I would love for you to join us if it sounds like something you want. But surely $5 gets your name in the game, shows that you've got skin in the game, and then you just try it for a month. And if it's not for you, you just step away. That's one of the reasons I don't do a yearly membership. You may have heard that some Patreon pages you can do a yearly membership, but I think that if that month to month, if you're okay with it and it's $5, is much better, because then if you find yourself getting busy, or you for any reason you need to step away, then you can step away right away. It just makes it, you know what I mean? The years sometimes a little harder to get that worked out. I'm not saying it is on Patreon, but I'm just saying I want to go with this. This is kind of what I like. This is what I like. And there's some big changes happening in Patreon that you guys will be a part of. So it's a lot of fun. I hope you'll join us. Okay. All right. Now over to you guys. Let's see what you all have to say. I'm so excited that you're joining me today after Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving was a time of rest for me after 2 very, very, very busy months. Just nonstop, not a lot of sleep, doing the best I could in between. That it's nice to have taken, 4 days just to sort of balance, get back and get my balance. And I feel like I'm pretty good. There's still a lot to do. Family and personal obligations, and I've got a lot of projects on my table. I'm happy about that, but I need to get them going. And yeah, but I had the chance just to sort of just super important. Yeah, just super important. Okay, guys, let's hear what you have to say. Enough of me, blah, blah, blah. Oh, there is one more thing. I am doing my first debut at the Lewis Galleries in Simi Valley, Lewis Galleries in Simi Valley, and I will post that as soon as I speak with Marianne Lewis, the owner of the gallery. So as soon as I get that going, it's the 10th of December. Many of you may be busy, but if you're not and you happen to be anywhere near Simi Valley and you want to come see me, I'm going to be demoing an art piece, it looks like. And I'm going to be selling a very exclusive pin there of Figment. So, and it's exclusive only to the gallery in Simi Valley. I cannot sell it outside there. Maybe after, depending on how many come to the event on the 10th, but they get it first. And then I will talk to the gallery owner about how to sell the other pins, because I know a lot of you love Figment and you'd like to get one if you're not in the area to get one. So I am going to check on mail order if she will take online orders and things like that. But those are things I wanted to get through the Thanksgiving holiday, and I will probably touch base with her around Wednesday, Thursday before December, because the 10th is the day. So if you want to come, keep your eyes open and stay tuned, and I will post it as soon as we get some details ironed out. I'm a detail-oriented person, so I want to make sure I give you all the proper information so you can come and see me, and I hope to see you there. And then I will tell you what the rest of what else I'm doing there, but I'll let you know then. Okay, so I hope I see you there. Good morning, Linda. Hope you guys all had a lovely Thanksgiving. Connie, I have a story of Elton John where he joined me at Disneyland. We'll share on Terry's Tribe. I would love that, Connie, because I watched the Elton John special live on Disney Plus. My husband doesn't find anything on Disney Plus that he likes, and I find a ton of things on Disney Plus that I like. So I say, no, we're not getting rid of Disney Plus. But yes, I'd love to hear it, because working with Elton John on the Country Bears was a dream come true. I mean, he's an icon. He's like, it's a big deal. It's a big deal. And you step back and you go, whoa, and he's so generous. His heart is as big, as big as two Texases. I say big as Texas, but usually his is Texas time too, isn't it? Just a lovely, 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 adorable man. And now he's going to be with his family. And I wish him all the best. I'm so excited for him. He looked so happy at the end of the concert and tired. So yes, Connie, I can't wait to hear it. Maybe on the Zoom call, you might feel like telling it. Onward. That's it. Michelle, Onward. The characters from this movie look like characters from Onward. Is that a reason people wouldn't go see it? It looks a little I looked at the previews. It looks a little derivative, but hey, at least it's not a live action of animation, which I hate. So I don't get it. I don't get it. The name of the movie. Why is the name of the movie wrong? Tell me more. Elaborate, Michelle, because I'm not following you. Hi, Paul. Good morning, Terry. The biggest issue I see with Strange World is that Disney didn't do a great job of marketing it. Okay, so it wasn't just me missing it. They didn't market it. Why wouldn't they market it? That's weird. They didn't even promote it well at D23. It's not a princess story, a superhero movie, or a redo of prior property. But Soul wasn't. Didn't Soul do well, or am I wrong on that, Paul? I just thought Soul was brilliant, and nobody dissed it before it came out. And it came out around this time, didn't it? In the year that it was released. But it was promoted. Maybe you're right. Maybe it just, yeah. Superhero movie. So they couldn't figure out how to promote it. Gosh, so sad. It's really sad, because I want to watch it. I don't know if I'll go to the theater to watch it, because I'm telling you, I am conditioned to watch things at home, but I have been for a long time. Right now, the pandemic is out there. I'm very, very careful about my husband still. So it's not that we don't do stuff, but we're careful. We're very, very careful. And Paul, we're coming to see you. Paul is going to be singing, and we can't wait. I'm bringing my friend, and we're coming up there on that Friday where we can be live, Paul, I think it is. Anyway, we bought tickets. So watch out. We're coming. We're coming to hear you sing, Paul. I'm so excited. We're eager. We just want to make sure. She has to work, because she works for Walt Disney Pictures. So she has to work. So she's hoping that she'll be able to get off early so we can get there before you start. Otherwise, we'll sneak and sit in the back row and try not to disrupt your singing. But we're so excited to go. We really are excited to hear you sing. So thank you for telling me about it. Got to this one late, but Austin Powers was all over the place back then. Couldn't escape it. Absolutely, you couldn't. And not to my taste. I didn't like those movies at all. Those just aren't my cup of tea. My husband says you're not the demographic. So obviously, I was not the demographic, right? But basically, Bonnie, I'm just asking why Strange World got dissed before it ever came out. And as Paul pointed out, Disney decided not to market it, which is just, it's weird. And he points out because they weren't sure how to market it, because they've been doing, lifts from their animated movies into live action. They've made a princess movie or a superhero movie. So, But then why do it if you're not going to plan the promotion? I will tell you, one of the films that really rocked the boat and really was incredible was Emperor's New Groove. I remember that was promoted about this much, and an incredible movie. An incredible movie. In fact, at the time that that movie got released, my dear friend Rebecca Mosley sent me a DVD of it, and I was shooting Men in Black 2, I think. Might have been one or two. And I was watching it because they did not give us a dressing room. Big surprise for puppeteers. But we were in the back and I started to watch it and I started laughing so loud, Emperor's New Groove, that I had to stop because I almost disrupted the takes of the movie. So I waited until my lunchtime and then I sat on the hot set just behind where everybody goes to lunch. I didn't. And that crowd thing again. And there I was watching Emperor's New Groove by myself while eating the lunch that I had brought. And Will Smith came and sat and watched it with me. And we were laughing our butts off. And Will Smith was there to shoot a music video that was about to start, I think, in like 5-10 minutes. So he didn't get to see the whole thing, but he did get to see enough of it to see that this movie was spectacular. Meanwhile, later on, I'm flown down to Walt Disney World to work on Talking Mickey Mouse. You remember I mentioned him? And at that point, he was going to be on the shelf. So what I talked to about my friends on Terry's Tribe is that I have a lot of things to do. I don't understand bored. Okay. I don't get bored. In fact, I wish I had more arms and a prehensile tail, if you really want to know. So many things I want to do in life, but I have a great time and I love learning. So at that time, Mickey Mouse was put on the shelf because the components to make Mickey Mouse talk were out external and huge, just too big. There wasn't chips yet like they use now. But now, as you see Mickey in commercials, he talks and he marches. That's because everything is shrunk down. Technology has gone down to the little chip from the big thing that I was working on. And now he can talk because he's all self-contained in the head. Isn't that cool? It's cool. Anyway, while I was there, I met the animators from Emperor's New Groove, and I had to ask them. I had to sit down with about 6 of them, and I had to ask them, how did Emperor's New Groove even get made? Because it was so beautiful, and it's what animators like to do. In fact, I say the definition of an animator is to take 2 points, A and B, and create the funniest transition for A to get to B that you possibly can. That is true joy for an animator. I think so. If you're an animator, let me know if I'm right. But honestly, it's so great. And all I have to tell you is there's a couple of sequences in Emperor's New Groove. There's a ton of them, but 2 that stand out is the Batcave and the bridge that they have to get across. I'll tell you, it is brilliant, just brilliant. And I told them so. And I love this movie. And thank you, Rebecca Mosley of Laughing Place, for telling me all about it, because what a great movie. At first, I thought it was an ad. I didn't even know it was even real. So again, that brings us back to Strange World. What's up? It didn't look terrible. It looks interesting to me. I'm going to watch it when it streams. I'm sorry, I'm going to wait till it streams, but I'm going to stream it. I don't know. Why did it get the crown of box office, flop? I don't understand. I really don't understand. So Bonnie, that's what I'm saying. I don't get it. Good morning, Joseph. Paul says, none of the films this weekend did particularly well. Black Panther did okay, but that's a holdover. Yes, Black Panther. If you were so busy, because I haven't seen Black Panther and I haven't seen, what's the one with John, the Rock. That's the way I know him. Sorry. I love that actor. Anyway, that one, I haven't seen that one and I want to see it. And my husband says, well, it's not very good. They say, well, okay, I'll stream it, but I want to see it. And then I haven't seen Wakanda Forever either. And I would like to see that too, because boy, they really know how to how to, represent strong women. So we'll see. I don't want to digress, but there's a thing that my husband says that men like called, is it called, what did he call it? I think he called, I'll figure it out. He called gadget porn. Is that what it's called? Anyway, that the things that people do, they have to put things together to make them work, and then it works. And we love seeing that happen. We love the gadgets, like in the original Star Trek, the tricorder with the and all that kind of stuff. That we love that, and he's right. And then they said that's mostly men, but he's wrong, because as a woman, I love that stuff. I love seeing the stuff and what to make the stuff. So I realized that in Batman Begins, that's what I like, is the building and creating of Batman with those cool wings, because he's using his mind, the tumbler car, all, so hey, he's right. This guy was right. Absolutely right. So again, getting back to Strange World, I still don't get it. Yeah. So if none of the films did well, is this Strange World's fault? Yes, it was a lot of money. I get that it was a lot of money to make it. Most movies are a lot of money to make, aren't they? Unless they're independent. And then everybody's worried about this new Pandora. I think the new Pandora, I don't know if it's going to make $1 billion. That seems a little bit rich and crazy. But I know people will at least go to check it out because they like the first one. So they're going to want to go see the second one, aren't they? Kind of like with Maverick. I don't know. I think it has an opportunity because it has a track record. And because they're hyping it, just like you said, Paul, they're hyping it up, right? They're really hyping that one up. Strange World was cute. I personally felt I was missing something, though. I didn't have the intimate connection or heartstring pull I felt with other newer movies. What about Onward, Bonnie? Did you have a string pull with Onward? Because Onward was a little lackluster for me. I thought that there was an ingredient missing. And maybe that's why people think Strange World is the characters looked a lot like it, and when it has a little something that you go, it was okay, but why am I not going, wow? Don't know, but you have a really good point there, Bonnie. I probably will watch again once on Disney Plus. I felt many may have negative reviews due to political views, although I haven't read a lot of reviews either. Well, there's people with agendas, aren't there? There's people who have their own personal agendas, and they have a following, and so they're going to do it from their particular point of view. Okay, so you've got a point. If there's a point of view that's being stated in the movie and someone doesn't like that, then they would come out and do that. I think of The Last Temptation of Christ, which is a movie that I think is very, very good. But people protested against it without even seeing it. Again, saying it was a terrible movie, that if you were Christian, it was totally against your ethics and morals and a direct attack on you. And I just totally disagreed when I saw it. I felt that it was the filmmakers. I watched it. Was it something that I'd watch over and over and over again? No, I don't think so. And I love biblical films, but I liked that it asked questions and it made a statement. And I believe God created humans to be thinking creatures. So we are going to question. And I think it makes Father God very proud of us when we ask questions instead of just, the whole time. My personal opinion, he would not have given us a great brain if we weren't supposed to use it. And that means you question. Do you ever see Jason and the Argonauts? And Jason actually tells the gods, no, I don't need your help. I'll do it myself. I think parents love this. And if God is our universal parent, and don't know how you feel about it, this is the way I feel about it, then wouldn't they be happy? Look at that child go. You see? So some of these other agendas that they had against Passion of Christ, and again, people who had never seen it, it's like, ugh, why do you do that? So I'm not saying I don't know if some of these people with agendas, as you're saying, Bonnie, haven't seen it. I hope they have, because it really is twisted. I'm sorry. I think that's just a twisted behavior, that you're going to diss something that you haven't even seen. How does that even work? I mean, we wouldn't want that, right? Someone who hadn't met you makes a judgment call about you because why? I mean, it's crazy. I think that's just a little bit crazy behavior. That's what I'm saying. I'm thinking the behavior is a little crazy. That's what I'm saying. Not calling y'all crazy, just saying that's kind of a crazy behavior. Wouldn't you agree? Good morning and happy money, Bob. Again. Joseph says, from what I've been hearing from other social media and YouTube sites, may have been pointing out Disney has been openly putting more gay subject matter in typical family films. Okay. Gay scenes are banned in the Middle East and China, and so the film wasn't shown there. This thus reducing box office greatly. This could have been the reasons. They really didn't promote it very well here either. What's interesting is, isn't that the Middle East and China's decision, like that they don't want to promote a movie that promotes this subject? And so why would that matter to the rest of us? Okay, I mean, why would we boycott the film? Because it has, do you know what I mean? That, again, I'm doing the dog in front of the Victrola. I'm confused. Yeah, I'm confused. I'm confused. So you're showing I haven't seen it. Okay. I don't know how this is depicted. You know, I have so many friends that I can think of, and yes, I live in California, that are gay, but I don't look at them and go gay. Do you know what I mean? It's not like you can really tell. And why would it make a difference? I don't know. I don't know. It's confusing to me. And I don't know why this would affect the box office. Because if you don't have China and you don't have it, it's because you're realizing that they ban this sort of thing. So why put yourself through it? That kind of sounds smart from Disney. They wanted to make this movie, and they wanted to make this movie with a character they wanted to have in it. Why should they not have the character in it? Okay, so then if they have the character in it, why would they put it in countries who ban films that do just this? Is that what you're saying to me, Joseph? Is that China and the Middle East ban films because of gay? Is that what you're saying? Because if that's what you're saying, then Disney is like, well, okay, if we do this, we are not going to have the Middle East and we're not going to have China. Let's be ready for that. Okay, we still want to make the film. To me, this sounds pretty bold, actually, pretty strong, because do you know what I mean? You don't want money to dictate how you're going to create a film if you're a filmmaker, right? You don't want that. I mean, you need it to make a film, but you don't want to change your subject simply to appease other people because of their beliefs, right? You just make your film. So I'm really confused. It's just kind of like, Terry, you may not get to be unconfused, Joseph, right? I'm just going to have to see this movie and say, I just don't know why people attacked it. It feels like it's being attacked, is what I'm feeling like. Or maybe they're just getting clickbait. But see, social media is very powerful. And social media was saying this movie was going to flop well before it was even in theaters, which really was kind of like Country Bears. And maybe these people saw a preview, or maybe they just didn't see it. I don't know. But that made people go, oh, well, if it's a flop, I don't want to go see it. I'll go see Maverick again or whatever. So that has influence. There's a reason people are called influencers. You have to be careful what you say and what you do, because people are influenced by your statement. If that's what you're trying to do, is to keep people from seeing this movie because maybe you have an agenda. I don't know who, I can think of a couple people that I saw on YouTube that have a strong agenda, because they're a lot like Middle East and China. They didn't like this character, I guess, right? Am I wrong? Yeah, that's what I'm kind of thinking. Joseph says, I saw it Tuesday and I enjoyed it. It wasn't the best they've done, but it wasn't bad either. Okay. I just wondered if the movie just wasn't good, Hi, David. Is it me or all Disney Pixar animated films starting to look like they are drawn from the same stock characters as well? This is what my husband is saying, David. He feels that Pixar really is suffering because of the loss of Lasseter. Lasseter was a very enthusiastic, upbeat, and really a good captain, but we know what happened there. So now what? It just feels like they're floundering. Are they? And if they are, how do they get back on track? It would be a question because I agree with you. It feels like something is gone. The spark that Pixar had with things like Toy Story and things like Monsters Inc. and they just they had some real, wow, is that good? You know what I mean? Pixar. We used to love to see the Pixar title come up because we knew we were really going to get something yummy to watch. So I agree with you. I think that's exactly what the problem is. Bonnie says, I agree with Paul. Wasn't huge marketing, which is sad. I love Jake Gyllenhaal, but Elemental, I'm already seeing a lot more of it. Yeah, and I don't get Elemental either. I'm sorry, I don't. There's a preview I don't like. Just, but I have to give it a break because it's early. This is a advertisement. This is marketing for something that happens in 2023, right? So, what happens with digital production produced things? Well, animation too, but you gotta do a trailer, but you're still building the movie because computers, of all the creatures on the earth, computers know how to stop and smell the roses. You can't yell at a computer when it's rendering and say, work faster. Well, you can, but the computer goes, yeah, get away from me. I'm having a coffee. So, so a computer is going to do it in the rendering time that it tells you on the thing, and the wheel's going to spin. So you're not going to get it to go faster. You have to put that into your schedule. And yet they need to have a trailer to promote the film, which has to be done kind of before you really get the feel of the movie sometimes. And so Elemental, I'm just giving it a grain of salt because right now it feels bland to me. It's not making me want to go see it like Soul did. Man, I really wanted to see Soul. When I look at this, I'm like, no, just doesn't doing anything to me. It doesn't tell me anything. It doesn't make me want to go see it. It doesn't create a spark, if you will. So Elemental, I'm still out. The jury is still out on that one, but I understand that they got to do previews before they really get a feel of what they're doing with the movie. And so hopefully by the time it's released in 2023, we might love it. So that's my feeling on that one. But thank you for pointing that out, Bonnie. I think you're right. Hopefully, now that Bob Iger is back, maybe he'll rectify the problem studio has not marketing some of their films. Now, as we speak, I understand that Bob Iger has invited all the cast members and all of Disney, the whole organization, to join him live or join him via Zoom. And he's going to talk about some of the changes and alterations he'd like to do to the company. And I agree with you, Michelle. I'm hoping that he comes back. Now, if you remember, many of you weren't real thrilled with all of what Bob Iger did, but I think on the whole, he did a lot of great things for the company. So hopefully he will continue and see what a massive influence all of you guys are. Because as I've said it before, all they have to do is ask you. Seriously, all they have to do is ask you. Do you know Walt Disney, who created Disneyland, by the way? You may have not known that. Of course you knew that. But Walt Disney had an advisory committee of people just like you, used to meet at the Disney Castle, as I understand it, or somewhere around Disneyland. And he treasured each and everything you guys said. In fact, some of you were on that advisory council and remember how influential you were. And if you remember the 50th anniversary for Disneyland, you couldn't keep the money in your wallet. There were so many yummy things you wanted to buy, so many cool things you wanted to buy. You just couldn't stand it. Great stuff. And you were like, I don't want to go into Disneyland. I need to eat this week. And all my money is going to go to the cool stuff that you see? So that is advisory council. That is bringing people that collect, that buy, that purchase, telling you what they want to see. And this is the exciting part. And it's so easy. People say to me, how is it you're selling out at a time when art isn't loved? Well, art is loved. Okay. So get that out of your head. But because I ask you, and I really ask my tribe, okay? I have my own advisory council known as Terry's Tribe. Whenever I have a challenge, I ask the tribe. And that way, I get some really honest input. And if they think the idea is completely like, they'll tell me because they care. And so if you think your voice can be a part of that, please join my advisory council, my group that not only advises me, but advises each other and helps each other. Brilliant individuals who are passionate about what they do. And it's great. It's just great. So hopefully Bob maybe will think, Bob, my advice, advisory council. We could really help you. We really could. We have these ideas that can blow you away. You remember how you came up with the little BB-8 robot. You remember that that was a Kickstarter project that was a ball that moved around that you could program with your phone. You met with those guys. The idea pops into your head, and through collaboration, the little BB-8 robot was born. And did it not fly off the shelves and everybody go gaga for it? The answer is yes. So you don't have to do it your whole self, Bob Iger. You've got hundreds of millions of zillions of people from all over the world that can help you figure out what's good for Disney, because we love this brand. We all love this brand, and we love Walt Disney, and we're grateful. We're really grateful. We gave thanks this weekend for Walt and his family, and for the fact that he never gave up. And artists like him continue to give us beautiful, magical things because they never give up. So, Bob, you don't have to do it all yourself. None of us, not even Walt Disney, did it all ourselves. So, hopefully, of course, why would you listen to me? But hopefully, maybe this will reach you. And then I offer you those little pearls of wisdom. Where is it at? I don't know. But that's the pearls of wisdom that I'm offering at 42 minutes. So you don't have to listen to the whole thing. Just go to between 41 and 42 and you've got it. Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Strange World is amazing. See, now Sydney's saying it's good. And I got to tell you, people love the Country Bears. It got dissed, but then when people actually watched it, they love the Country Bears. In fact, Evan, my friend, Evan Hunter sent me an article where the person who was writing it said he was writing it to include it in into the top worst films Disney has ever done, and he couldn't do it. He watched Country Bears and he couldn't do it. And I have to tell you, one of the most endearing things this author said, and I should look at the article and say his name right here on camera, because it would be kind of me to do that. So I'll maybe do that on Friday. But the reality is that he said one of the things that really touched him was the scene between Tennessee and Trixie. And that is one of the things that we as performers gave our solemn promise that we were not going to do a smarmy movie. We were going to make them have real live beating hearts in every character. And he named that sequence, that song, and that's mine, Julianne's, and Denise's, and oh gosh, he's going to kill me because I can't remember his name. But the point is it's 4 people who came together and solemnly swore they were going to make that real. And we did it. And this is what this guy quoted, among other things, by the way, but really touched my heart that that's what he said makes the movie unable to be on the worst films of all time. So yay for us. And I'm glad to hear Strange World is amazing. I think that's what people are going to find out when they stream it. They're going to be like, what? What are you talking about? You know, maybe. I don't know. But that's what a lot of people found about the Country Bears. I'm signing posters all the time. Yep, I am. So there's people out, sometimes social media doesn't know it all. In fact, most of the time, I'm saying that you don't. I mean, seriously, especially if you haven't seen the movie. Hey, Terry, sorry it's been a bit since I joined one of these. How's it going? It's going great. How are you doing? I've missed you. It's going well. I got really busy between October 1st and Actually, between the middle of September all the way till just about a week ago. Yeah, so I'm playing catch up, but it's been fun. So guess what I watched yesterday? Theater. Oh my God. What made you do that? Were you strapped down? Were you reenacting A Clockwork Orange? That movie. If you paid $1, you pay too much. Uh, Amazing strong women characters, says Sydney. 3 generations of legacy, leading black male. I was honestly on the edge of my seat. Me and Adam saw it, and I can't stop talking about it. I highly recommend it. Of course you do. Yes, I'm eager to see it. Yeah, it came out when I was in Virginia shooting a show. And we almost went to Virginia to see it, and then I said, "Yeah, no." And I wanted to wait for my husband, so I held back, and I'm hoping we'll get a disc on it. Sometimes Disney will send you a CD or a link so you can watch it privately, to vote on it, as I have to vote on it, and you can bet it's something I really want to see. It's interesting because there's so many movies I want to see, and then there's so many movies I've never heard about. Like last night, we watched one that involved Vikings, and it felt long and it felt a bit tedious, but I wanted to see the end and I fell asleep. So I'm going to have to go back and play the end so I can see if I liked it. Had some stars in it. I enjoy watching. So, but yeah, gritty and raw and dark, and yeah, wasn't Braveheart, but it was interesting. Onward was fun. I didn't understand the ending though. I did not have the string pull for it, but could be I didn't relate to the story as well. Storylines affect differently for you. Well, like my husband says, I'm not the demographic. Okay. Sometimes I'll tell you what I am the demographic for, and it's the same storyline. Okay. Uh, the person is challenged and is not liked because of the way they look, the way they are, how they are, blah, 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 but they never quit. And then they persevere and they win. End of movie. I love that. So what movies do that? How to Train Your Dragon, Kung Fu Panda, which is one of my absolute favorites of the Kung Fu Panda 1 and Kung Fu Panda 2. Kung Fu Panda 3 kind of lost me because it was a little bit muddled, but 1 and 2 are absolutely excellent. And there's tons of lines in there that need to be taken to heart in both of those movies. It hurt, says the Kung Fu Panda, but everything you did made me feel like I wanted to be this and not me. And that's a very sad thing. Okay. And and another Kung Fu Panda line, which is great, is yesterday is history, tomorrow's a mystery, today is a gift. That's why they call it the present. So just love that kind of movie where people are thinking, creating, and doing something that changes the world. And I think watching Kung Fu Panda, if you're someone who is a big fat panda, and later you become, because of the people that support you and make you realize that you are worthy, you go from a big fat panda to the big fat panda. And so that kind of movie I just love. I just absolutely go gaga for that storyline. You can take that thread and retell it 20 million times, and I'm there. So it's just what I like. Yeah, I am the demographic for that. Rising above the ashes. Just don't tell me I'm a piece of crap. I'm going to prove differently. And I love it. I just love, love, love that story over and over and over again. And this one about this lady who goes to Paris because she wants to buy a gown, a Dior gown, is absolutely Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris is on Rising Above the Ashes. You've got little Mrs. Harris, who's a maid, who has a dream of owning a gown, and she goes to Paris to buy a gown. Okay, and how she affects and how it affects her. Fabulous movie. Fabulous, fabulous, fabulous movie. If you haven't seen it, get on it. It's a great film. and it's a fun film, but it's the same kind of thread. People thought you were this or people thought you were that. And then you proved them differently because you are a genuine, wonderful human being and you just were you. So, yeah, I love those movies. How to Train Your Dragon. He realizes that everybody has been telling him the wrong story, and he teaches them to love them and to be friends with them and to honor them. And oh my God, what a great movie, right? It was like, wow, just, yeah, so yeah. So I got to tell you that I think those kind of films are just very special. And that line over and over and over again, I never tire of it. Never, never, never tire of it. Even if I can write the dialogue ahead of time. Okay. Even if the movie is not that great and I go, it would be good. And then they do it later. I get a kick out of that as well. So, yeah. I think it is depicted very tastefully. The gay male lead, says Sydney. They show it like a normal relationship. It's just innocent love. If that's the reason you're going to diss a movie, I think you need to look in the mirror and ask yourself, what's up? You know what I mean? It's like, I've always thought that the thing I love about living in California is that most people don't really care what your religion is or what your color is or what your thoughts are, all this kind of stuff, as long as you're not an asshole, pardon my French. If you're a nice, sweet, loving person, we take you at face value. Most Californians, I won't say all Californians, but that's why I loved living in California, is that, although I was bullied, because you're always going to come across some people that just have it all twisted up, that's what life is about sometimes. And bullied all over the world. It's not just here, it's everywhere. Judged for things you can't change. Hello. And then you meet some fabulous people and they feel the need to tell you that they're gay, like you don't know, or that's going to make a difference. I think the only way that someone telling me they were gay would make a difference is if I was trying to date them and they weren't a girl. Then I think it's important, if you're a guy, to say, stop right there. I like men, or you know what I mean? I mean, that's important. But other than that, I don't see the reason why this has to be part of the criteria of a friendship. I don't know. See, that's why I'm not getting it. My husband says, you're not the demographic, Terry. There you go. Hi, Terry. How are you? I like to listen to 80s TV theme songs on YouTube. How was your Thanksgiving? My 80s theme songs are great, right? In fact, listening to Elton John on Disney Plus made me think that people, you see super young kids listening to Elton John, or people liking the Bee Gees, or people loving Michael Jackson, or all of this, because you can sing to this music. I have two really talented musical artists in the family, Lindsay's family, and they say that today's music is more music production than about the person's voice, that the voice can be sweetened, that the voice can be altered, that the voice can be changed, much like your face on camera getting wrinkles taken out and all that. They feel that's what music is today, and they miss a good, beautiful, pure voice. I don't know if that's true. I listen to music. A lot of times I like to listen to what I call the music I grew up with, which is the 80s. But I can't listen to music in my studio because I dance to it. I love to dance to music. And if it gets your body moving, or I sing to it and I'm working on a sculpture, it's not conducive to my work. So instead, I listen to movies that I know really well so that they play in my head while I'm sculpting. And then whenever I look at the sculpture, I remember the movie I watched. So it's kind of funny. So I may watch Gladiator a million times, or I may put on all of Downton Abbey or all of Doc Martin, and I'll go, oh, that was when I was in my watching all of Doc Martin phase, or this was when I was in my kick butt phase, which is all movies like that, or my Clint Eastwood phase. I love Clint Eastwood. And so, yeah. So that's what I do. I listen to movies that I know really well. And I love biblical films. So 10 Commandments, I can almost recite by heart. And of course, Star Wars, which you know the story with me in Star Wars. So that's not a surprise that that's one of the movies that's on a lot. The 4, 5, and 6, as opposed to any of the others. And mostly 4 and 5. 6 I thought was a little lame, but I loved 4. I loved Star Wars, the original film, and Empire Strikes Back is my favorite of all time. So, and I can practically recite it by heart. So yeah, so that's why I can stick to sculpting here in front of me while listening to the movie that might be playing behind me on that TV that's over here. So if I turn the camera, you can see that I've got a TV, and the TV, see that little TV right there? There it is. Dee-dee, dee-dee, dee-dee. Yeah. So that little TV right there is the one that I usually play the things on, and it works really nicely. It works very, very well. Sometimes I listen to talk radio, but not often, because I get involved into the talk radio topics. So so good. So yeah, that's the deal with that there. Tea is so good. I'm trying to remember how I got completely turned on to tea instead of coffee, but I love it. I really love it. All the different teas. I have so many too. You know, you got the ones for relaxing, the ones if you're having trouble sleeping, the throat coat if you need to talk a lot, and then milk tea, which when I was in Japan, I absolutely went gaga over. So now I have to have milk tea at least once in a while because it's just so good, and so yummy. Sorry, I'm digressing again. But my Thanksgiving was lovely. Thank you, Mike. It was fantastic. 4 days of bliss, actually. And we were going to do some work, honestly. We were going to do a few things. I did get a couple of things done. And I need to call and follow up today. But I really rested and relaxed and took it easy and spent time with my husband, and let him know that, I asked him, what could I do to be a better wife? Have you ever said that to your partner? What can I do to be a better wife? And he said, more hugs. So more hugs, doing a lot more hugging, because he wants a hug often. So I'll just sneak up behind him and hug him a lot, or just hug him whenever I see him, and more snuggles, just where we're, in our pajamas, and we just cuddle close under the covers and just lay there and talk face to face, like our faces are like this close. We just talk about all kinds of fun stuff. Yeah. He's a well of information. And the other day when we were laying in the bed, I made us breakfast in bed, and we were sitting there very comfortably, and we started to talk. He started to tell me the history behind worth your salt. Is he worth her? Is he worth his salt, or is she worth her salt? And he started to tell me that the background and the history right off of the top of his head. And I remember sitting there going, God got it. And I asked him, how does this stay in your head? But it's just wonderful to hear him say some things like that. And he starts to explain it. And some people get tired of it, but it's one of the things I love about my husband is this ability just to talk about something out of the blue. I'll make a statement and he'll say, do you know where that comes from? And it's just great. It's just wonderful. So I'm excited for more days like that. And he's not sure what it's going to be like as we come closer to his retirement. He's not sure. But the reality of it is that I want it to be so special. Every day doesn't have to be perfect, but just fun for him and exciting for him. I want him to feel like now's the chance he gets to go do what he'd like to do. He's been doing things to take care of our family. Now it's time for him to go play. And what does that mean? We've both been talking about it. maybe we'll go dance. Maybe we'll take a dance class together. He loves to dance, and I always lead. So it'd be nice to be able to dance with a wife who doesn't lead. I was the tallest in my class, so I always led. I played the boy. So at the time, I didn't think this would be detrimental to my dancing abilities with a couple, but it is. It was a mess. So I need to learn that. So we talked about that. Maybe we want to get with our good friends, the Kyoto brothers, and take a stop motion class and maybe make a stop motion short together with two of the best stop motion creators in the business. We know them, we love them, and it's possible to go speak with those people and ask them if they got a couple of minutes, could they help us? And it may move them forward it may, because we're collaborating with them, give them an idea on something they can move forward with. So it's always good. You always come to give as well as to receive, and it could be just super. So I can't wait. I am very, very excited about everything. And thank you for asking me, Mike. I appreciate it. Hello, Michael Clarkey. Good morning. Just getting over a respiratory virus. A lot of you guys were sick. Was it that you were working so hard and finally you got some days off so the viruses caught you? Goodness. Watching your intellectual video helps me stay sane. Oh, thank you for saying that, Michael. I hope so. Yeah, I hope so, because that's what I want to be here for, is to help, is to be of service and to help you guys. Yeah. And I have to think about how the new year is going to be, because I got a husband home and I want to spend time with him. So we're going to see how we're going to lay out this social media. Now I can help you more and how things can progress and stuff like that. So we're going to shoot more pre-recorded videos so you guys can get into some juicy stuff that I do, and it'll be fun. And then more for the tribe. So remember, patreon.com/Terri Hardin. Remember that for Terry's tribe, and $5 a month get you in, and proves to me you really want to be there. So think about it. So many boycotted Lightyear because of the topic before seeing it. I loved Lightyear. It's an unfortunate reality. Social media can be very powerful. Yeah, you're right, Bonnie. Lightyear, I felt, was not the film that Andy watched. And I think that was a marketing faux pas. I think if it had been the film that Andy watched, it would have been, in my opinion, more people wanting to go see it without dissing it, right? But I thought it was a lovely film. I just didn't feel it should have been marketed as the film that started it all, because it really didn't have any bearing. Okay. It really didn't have any bearing on had to take my medication. I just realized I didn't do it. It really didn't have any. It was a nice film, but I didn't believe it was the film that Andy watched. And I think a lot of us wanted to see the film that Andy watched, the one that got him so excited to want the Buzz Lightyear toy and some of the other toys that were involved. So that was my feeling. And honestly, if Disney had spoken with a Disney advisory committee, they could have said, yes, make that film, but if you're going to make that film, make the other one as well, because that's the one a lot of us wanted to come and see. That's the one that a lot of us wanted to be a part of. Forgive me. I really want to finish this painting right here. I actually think I might have a title for it now. I had mentioned before with this painting that I was trying to title it something, and I think I may have found a title for it. I'll let you know. I'm going to mull it over, but that may help me to finish it. But anyway, yeah. But you're right. Social media can be very powerful and can sway, can't it? Yeah, that's the problem. Adam says he echoes Sydney's statement. I highly recommend you see it. It's a beautiful film, in my opinion. I'll also add, given Bob Chapek's views on animated films, saying basically adults don't watch them, good point, Adam, was also a factor in it. The film was released under a different regime, like Iger who sees the value of animation and that it would be probably a different scenario. But again, we'll probably never know another factor people are considering. In fact, that they all want to put this as the. Let me tell you something. Are you guys involved in the Iger meeting? Did you guys get to watch it? Because apparently you guys were supposed, you and Sydney should be able to be a part of it. At least that's what I heard, but maybe I'm hearing wrong. I wanted to be a mouse in that meeting. I'll tell you what, little mouse in the corner listening. But you're right. You're absolutely right. I just say you got to watch it. You know, you got to watch the movie and then state an opinion like I do. Okay, I watch the movie and I maybe don't like it. And Chapek's statement about this adult thing is really crazy, right? That is just ridiculous. You know, I mean, I love animated films because it has my basic story, like I just told you about. I love them. I'm going to race to see them if it is that Rising Above the Ashes story. Okay. Encanto, same thing. Young girl doesn't seem to have it. And then all of a sudden she does. It's just different. How cool is that? You know, and done in colorful, beautiful manner. Okay. The only thing I have a problem with Disney animation is that they don't want to let us feel. And we need to be able to feel. We need to be sad so we can be really happy. And we need to be really happy so we can feel really sad. And you want that. I mean, when we lose, and if you guys have not seen Kung Fu Panda, but when the wise turtle, um, Oogway, something happens with Uge. Let me just say that you're so sad. I was so sad because it was wonderful. It was beautiful, yet it was sad. And I missed him. I missed him a lot. And the idea of not having him for the rest of the movies really broke my heart because he was my favorite character. The other one is, of course, Poe's father. I just love being I love the dad. I am really crazy. In fact, I met the James Hong, who is the voice of that character, and I just went gaga over him because of this goose. And he was so flattered and touched. He thought it was just adorable. I told him why. All the reasons why I loved this character. And so if you're an adult and you're not watching animation, shame on you because you're missing out on all the good feel-good messages. So I agree with you. I think that Chapek was really off kilter, and I do not believe Iger feels the same. So yay for us, right? It took Pixar 4 years to make Toy Story. They have much different deadlines these days. Assume. Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right. They do. People want to make it faster. And sometimes it takes time to feel things out and make the movie special. If you haven't seen Emperor's New Groove, you got to take a look at that because that movie was under the radar. Okay. All of the animators at the time were working on Treasure Planet, which in my opinion is a real dog of a movie. If you want to talk about a dog of a movie, that was a dog of a movie. Who wants to follow a character who's a little jerk? I don't know. I didn't like it. But the point is while that was happening, it was kind of that look over there moment. And Groove got to be made without corporate sticking their fingers in it. This is what the animators said really helped them was they were able to create the beats, create the fun, create the joy. And as a result, you get Emperor's New Groove. And if you haven't seen it in a while, there's a sequence where Pasha and the llama are tied to a log. Okay. Just notice when you're watching that the reason that Pasha seems to think was an okay traveling trip and the llama didn't really like it is because every time it hits land, it hits on the llama side. These are what the animators told me. It's just a fun little fact when you're watching it. Fun little fact to see is that whenever it hits, it bumps on the rock or wall or something, it hits on the llama side. So that's why Pasha's feeling a little more upbeat about it than the llama, but you'll love it. And that's one of the things that the animators came up. It's just, come on. Yzma's one of the best characters to hit the waves in so long. In fact, I was thinking of sculpting her, but I really don't want to make just one of her, which is why I'm not going to offer it at the gallery. But I got to do an Yzma at some point. So, this maybe, I don't know. That's another story. But anyway, you are so right. You got to have time to get those beats and to feel that let that grow properly. China and the Middle East have asked to edit out a few minutes of the film to be able to be shown. Supposedly, Disney has been refusing. An example is Buzz Lightyear movie. There was one same-sex kissing scene that they asked Disney to edit out. Disney refused, which is why it wasn't shown there. It makes no sense to me, since Disney could have made millions more if they did edit the film, but they chose not to. But Joseph, that's the point. Why would you allow somebody to tell you how to make your film? If you feel strongly about, I mean, this is where I'm celebrating Disney. Good for you, Disney. Don't let people tell you to do, don't tell if you edit out that film. I remember when I was dating my husband that the father said, someone said, let me just say it that way. Someone said if she just wouldn't tell her background, meaning if I kept it secret that I was a woman of color, life would be better for that side of the family. True story. I wasn't about to do that. Okay. No, I'm not going to do that. Do you follow, Joe? Millions of dollars is one thing, but do you have to sell your soul to do it? I mean, this is a real Disney behavior to me. I'm actually thrilled to hear Disney said, okay, China, okay, you don't want it. Okay, we'll just not do it in your area. I mean, usually people are so money driven that I'm proud of Disney. I'm applauding them right now because I don't think that's very fair. I don't think that's cool to tell you to change your movie so you can show it in their area. No, sorry. You're just going to miss out. Be me, Don't sculpt Jessica Rabbit. Say if you don't take Jessica Rabbit, who's super sexy, let's not make her quite so sexy and I'll buy her. Yeah, well, bite me, fella, because I'm going to make her the way I make her. I'm going to sculpt her the way I see her. I'm going to sculpt what I sculpt. I'm going to do my art. And if you don't want it, don't buy it. This is what I feel is the situation here. I'm applauding Disney. I don't know. Tell me if you agree, or tell me if you disagree. But I think Disney I'm really surprised that they did this because, my goodness, we've heard other things that they've done in Florida that have offended, many of the employees. And now here, Disney is saying, go away. We're going to make the movie. If you like it, have it. If you don't. Good for you, Disney. Good for you. This is the first good news I've heard. And I'm really glad to hear it. Good for you. Keep it up. They don't have to have every Disney movie. They can keep with the princesses and they can do the princess movies and they can do the, superhero movies and the remakes. Maybe they like those. Maybe that's the market for those. Obviously, they're not the demographic for forward-thinking films. I'm sorry. This is what they wanted to do in their film. I don't want to be beaten over the head with it, but it's allowed to be in there. Why wouldn't it be allowed to be in there? I don't know. Again, Terry's scratching her head because she's confused. Elemental, I already have a connection to. It's interesting as the idea of being from different backgrounds means we may still work out. I don't know, though. We'll see. Well, Bonnie, exactly. I think that's what they're saying, but it's been said in so many other ways and I think a little clearer. But again, this first preview is super vague. It's super, super vague. It's people getting on a bus and touching and, oh, hi, how are you? There's no real delving into how these two characters are going to relate. So it doesn't grab me, but that's okay. It's the first trailer. So we're going to give it to them because they may still, as has been pointed out earlier, it takes some years to do a good animated film. In this case, you can't have someone greenlight an animated film and go, okay, let's get the trailer out, because they need time to feel around and see how these characters are going to relate. And if they're not allowed to have that time, then the movie flops or falls short. Doesn't even flop. Sometimes it just falls short because you feel like maybe they were rushed, and you don't rush art, So, and Disney is putting out a lot of movies. So these animation ones can take a little time. I feel they have the luxury. They can take time. We love Disney. We're going to go see it if it's good, right? 1 year, 2 years, we'll see it. Excuse me, right? That's what I say anyway. Joe says, good morning, Terry. Just got my new, to me, iPhone 8, a gift from my sister so I can watch Obi-Wan and Andor and other Disney Plus shows. Getting it charged now. Still on my old 5S for now. Well, I am congratulations, Joe. Congratulations. You're going to love the 8. It was one of my favorite phones. I'm now on 13 because I love 13. And I'm going to hang on to 13 as long as I can because I just think that number is a very special number, as many of you do. But the 8, good for you. You're going to love Andor and Obi-Wan. I won't say anything. Not a word from me. Don't watch any of my past broadcasts. I want to go to that meeting, but I have to work. Oh, Sydney, dog. Any way you can record? Oh man, I wish I could go. I really, because I am a come here, get away Imagineer. We don't count in this respect. You have to be an employee to be able to see this. So it's too bad. It's the one time I wish I was an employee. That's rare because I like being the come here, get away Imagineer, and called on when I'm needed and put away when I'm not, so I can do what I want. So I love it. But this time I would really love to be that person because I'm excited. I think it's going to make you all feel really good. And I believe in him right now. Hope I'm not going to mess that up. I may or may not have had an energy drink, so I apologize for chatting a lot. Not, Bonnie. No apologies here. I appreciate your input, okay? Sometimes we apologize too much, okay? And believe me, you know me, Bonnie. I will tell you if I don't like what's being said, right? Like that poor person who was trying to make a joke, and I'm like, don't say that to yourself, you know? I'm not doing it to be mean. I'm doing it because you can poison your mind. Plus, if you love Jules Verne and H.G. Wells, you'll love Strange World too. Well, there you go. Because guess who's in my family who loves them both? I love them too, but my husband is like, yeah. Okay, so we're going to watch it, and he'll let me know what he thinks. He thought it felt derivative. Unfortunately, in today's world, a lot of things can feel derivative, meaning coming from something else. When we watched Avatar for the first time, our favorite books as kids were the Dragon Riders of Pern. And so when we saw this, we were like, dog, this movie is a direct lift from Dragon Riders of Pern, and yet Dragon Riders wasn't credited anywhere. So it was a little rough on us. We don't like stealing. And we felt that Avatar did some stealing in there. And we're very, very sensitive as artists about stealing. You don't steal someone else's intellectual property, right, and claim it as your own. So in my case, when I'm doing a sculpture of a Disney character, I know that it's still a Disney character and it still belongs to Disney, but I'm allowed to do it within certain boundaries. Okay, so and hopefully one day they'll talk to me. I have the Kung Fu Panda quote. I love that Kung Fu Panda quote is what's in it. Yes. There are so many wonderful quotes in this movie. And I watch it over and over. If you're always feeling down, you should find a movie that lifts you. And a lot of times it's an animated movie that just kind of, and Walt was really about that all the way back to Bambi. When Thumper says, if you can't say something nice, don't say nothing at all. So lots of good stuff. Yeah, across the board, good stuff. And you'll find that that's what makes animation special. So Chapek obviously didn't watch animation very much. And now he's putting his label, he's not the demographic. But if you want to feel better, watch a movie that lifts your spirits. And I defy you to not feel good after Kung Fu Panda. I mean, Kung Fu Panda is just joyful and fun and sweet and loving, The sequence where they're rolling down the stairs and his butt hits that other bad guy and the face goes all wonky. Oh, so good. It's great. It's great. It's just a fabulous movie. It's just so funny. If there's a movie you may not know or you have seen called Polly, Paulie, about a parrot, a talking parrot, and it's Tony Shalhoub's one of his first movies, and I think it says introducing Tony in that movie. It's just great. If you get the chance to see it, it's really a must see. Older movie, but well worth it. You're gonna laugh and cry and just go. Oh, it's just beautiful. Gosh, what a great movie. Just a really fun movie. Polly, Paulie, about a talking parrot. Oh my God, I always dance around my room. I can't contain my passion for it. It makes me feel free. Exactly. So you put the music on to do it, and then when you got to work, you got to figure something else. Like lots of people listen to music while they work, and good for you. You have control when it comes to that, but I don't. When it comes to music, I got to dance to it. I just can't. And I even love. Yeah. So Sydney, I'm with you on that. We're kindred spirits in that respect. Adam says hugs are a very powerful gift to give anyone. Yes, and I used to do them a lot until the pandemic. Now I'm very careful. You've got to ask now, and the Me Too movement is another one where people ask, and it can be weird. Yeah, it's a changing world, isn't it? Yeah. So my husband asking for more hugs is just great. I'm happy. I volunteer my voice to voice act for the to voice act. Yeah. Yeah, we're going to do something. We don't know what yet. I have an idea of what I want to do. And my husband says, no, why do you want to do that? We should do this. The project he thinks he wants to do is really exciting, but it's a big chunk. It's like a big bite. And if you're going to go, you go big, right? But we're going to talk more about it. He's right. It would be a great, great, great thing to do. We would love to do it. And we might do it like in segments, like chapters is what I'd like to do, so that you see it as a web series and you could watch it. So yeah, we're excited. We got so many things we want to do, guys, that it just gets me all revved up. Yeah. Gets me all like, it does. I mean, I'm serious. It does. But thank you. I will remember that with all y'all. I'll talk to the tribe first, of course. And you're there. Sydney, you're there. Adam said, here's the part that got cut out. The fact that they also want to put this as the Christmas Day release on Disney Plus, like Encanto and Soul before it, which I think is a shame because this film needs to be seen in a theater, ideally in 3D. See, I'm not good with the new 3D, but yeah, good. Yeah, the new 3D doesn't really do much for me. But again, I'm not that demographic, Adam. This is what my husband tells me. It's not bad. You're just not part of the demographic. Remember what I said about Thanksgiving? I'm a purist. So that's just me. And then if anything's in that other one, in what is it called? IMAX. I can't watch it because I get motion sick. It's not happening. Each character brought so much to the overall film for Emperor's New Groove. Definitely a favorite. It's just great. This is my voice. I mean, come on. So and Evan, I should have asked Evan. He should make those puffs from Emperor's New Groove. What were they? Those puffs that Kronk makes that he loves so much, that he was really proud of. Evan should make those. Wouldn't that be fun? Oh, that would be so cool. Oh, I just got a fun idea, which I will mention later. I actually rather like Treasure Planet. Lots of really beautiful animation. There's pretty stuff, but the kid's a jerk. I don't think you want to follow a hero that's a jerk. But again, maybe I'm not the demographic, because the other film that I absolutely cannot tolerate, do not like, have tried to watch it over and over again because everybody loves it, is Ferris Bueller's Day Off, because the guy is a jerk and I don't like to watch movies that follow jerks. So there you go. I've tried to watch it. I was building Splash Mountain when the entire team on Splash Mountain Tokyo looked at me as though I had three heads when I said I do not like Ferris Bueller's Day Off at all. And I have tried. I have gone back and watched it to see if maybe I needed to age gracefully and maybe I would like it. Nope, the jury is out. Do not like this film. Period. End of story. Don't like it. And this Treasure Planet, same way, did not like it whatsoever because the lead character was a little jerk. And I just don't want to follow jerks. Time is too short. So for me, nope, those two films, not on my shelf. But I will say that because of Treasure Planet, Emperor's New Groove got to be made. So I love it for that very reason. It said, everybody look over here to the one we think is going to be the big one. And the one that was really the best was Emperor's New Groove. So thank you, Treasure Planet. Mwah. I love you for that reason. You should do Kitty version of Yzma with her potion. Wasn't she just the best? Gosh, I really been wanting to sculpt a cat. It's a good idea. I really should do that as a sculpture for all y'all. But that could be fun because I just love, I really want to sculpt a cat. I did Lady from Lady and the Tramp, and it was so much fun because I love doing dogs. Of the dogs, I'd like to do Trusty. He's always been one of my favorite from Lady and the Tramp. So, again, we got the tramp who thinks he's good and strong in what he's doing, but then he meets a lady who changes his outlook on how nice it is to be with people that love you and care about you. And the story of the stray. So it's wonderful. And then who doesn't love Tess singing, he's a tramp and I love him. Finds a new dog every day. He's a tramp and I love him. And I wish that he was coming my way. Anyway, yeah. So you can see that I love her to death. Miss Peggy. Anyway, yeah. So I don't know. I don't know how people can think that adults don't watch animation and don't respond and fall in love with animation. We could go on forever talking animation, couldn't we? Because you just name something and how magical it is, and bam, it's good. In other words, as an actress, one of the things that they love that you can do, if you can do it, is to cry on cue. And the way I cry on cue is to sing Baby of Mine from Dumbo. A minute that goes into my head, gets into my heart, showers my body with extreme sadness. This is what I'm talking about. You have to let us feel sad in animation. It's not always happy, because then we feel really good about Dumbo when he is the magical character that we all know he is, and then he discovers it. So again, there you go. See, a little misty, because that song does it for me every time. I sang Baby of Mine and bam, I'm crying on cue. So all these fun techniques that actors will do to get what they want to get done. But all I do is just really feel that. And that just brings the tears on every single time. I love Treasure Planet, which actually just celebrated its 20th anniversary yesterday. But if you don't like it, that's okay. To each their own. Exactly, Adam. Nothing wrong with how wonderful you are. You're amazing. We can't like everything the same, but we can love each other. So, film is subject, and that's what makes it. And I like the fact that we disagree equally when we also agree. Exactly. I mean, that's why they make a ton of movies, is because some people like some and some people like others. Okay. I love Anaconda. Everybody looks at me like I'm crazy, but I really did love Anaconda, that cheesy film where they take John Voight and barf him up and then eat him. So you guys don't think that there's not movies that you would go, oh, you're kidding, that I like. So trust me. Your love of your movies ain't good for you. Just trust me that there are movies you probably would just go, what? And I love them. Absolutely. Gobble them up like candy. So go, Adam. Absolutely go. Also, sadly, I was asleep during the Bob Iger town hall. Oh, but I was certain that my cast members had a lot to say, and hopefully many of their voices will be heard louder than last time. And you can get with them and hear what transpired, and then share with us what you can. I just think it's going to give you guys a lot of hope, and the timing is really, really good. So I'm hoping that that's the case for you guys. I was really, really envious of you all today, all you cast members, because of this very thing. You can make more money by kowtowing to autocratic governments, but that just emboldens them to demand more from you in the future. Joe, it's just, can you look yourself in the mirror? Okay. If you're compromising too much, you're compromising your ethics. You know, if I stand here and say all God's people are special and we should love each other, we should lead with love. Okay. If I say that, and then I say I don't want to watch a movie because it has a gay character in it, that's ridiculous. Okay. That is not being authentic, and that's not being truthful, and that's not being real. Okay. You're going to say one thing out of your mouth and something else out of the other side of your mouth. You're not being true to yourself, and you're not loving you. Okay. This is my feeling. So for Disney to say to these two countries, you know, yeah, you got a lot of money, but that's not going to dissuade me, is what makes me feel really good inside. That actually touches my heart so deeply. I can't even stand it. It's really, really awesome. I had no idea. And so good for you, Disney. You know, it's an honor to be a part of your company if this is what you're going to continue to do. Wow. Got me going. Just really proud. Really, really proud. And I haven't been that proud of Disney a lot lately. So to hear this just makes me feel really good. Yeah, I'm super proud. Good for you. Whatever your belief, you hang tough, which is why where is Song of the South? Get it on back. You don't want to watch it, don't watch it. Song of the South is a beautiful movie and was made at a time that needs to be remembered. And then, you know, and if there's things that offend you in it, don't do it so that they do not repeat, you know? Just my feeling. Adam says 13 is a direct descendant of 3, which is, as Schoolhouse Rock says, 3 is a magic number. It is. 3 is a great magic number. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Go, 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 go. Guys, we went for an hour and a half today, and I really felt I needed to because you all stepped up and shared with me what you thought about this movie. And you shared with me something that just will warm me for the rest of my day. Disney stood up on their hind legs and said, we're Disney. No, you're not going to bully us. And I really love them for that. Mwah, mwah, mwah. I knew you'd come through. And what an honor to be a Disney Imagineer today. And it's always an honor, to be honest with you. But there are sometimes you go, what are they doing? Seriously, what are they thinking? But today is not one of those days as far as this film. And I'm going to watch it just to celebrate Disney saying no to a couple of countries that tried to bully them into showing it with the edits. No, 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 no. That's your film. You show your film. And then if people don't want to watch it, they don't have to. You can put a warning at the beginning. If it offends, change the channel. I don't know why you have to tell people to change the channel. You know, there used to be this guy on radio named Rush Limbaugh, and I couldn't stand listening to him. So I did something that was just amazing. It was magical. I changed the channel, or I turned that dude off. That's what I did. Just wasn't for me. So click, bye-bye. I learned French or something. So I love you guys. Big hugs. Serious. Here we go. Look, we got a couple other things in here you're saying. Get away, get away. Cambodian, get away, get away. Okay. Well, that's your back. There you go, Joe. Audrey. I love Tony Shalhoub as Monk. You got to see him in Paulie, Paulie. You're going to love that movie. Trust me. Trust me. Could look around. I had something in the middle of my eye that was just crazy. I may have to go to the doctor to get it out. I don't know. Anyway, I love Paulie. Yes, beautiful film. Very first films. One of the very first films from DreamWorks Studios too. I didn't realize it. Yeah, I did. I remember it was. It's just so good. It's about a parrot. I love that movie. I watch it a lot. I just can't stop. It's one of the ones that's in the back because I can practically recite it. Taco, taco, taco. Yep. You say taco, I say taco, 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 taco. Love that movie. Polly want to crack out? Got to get out of here. Spinach puffs. Yeah, we need to make those. I don't know. I got to make those. Yeah, yeah. Spinach puffs is what Kronk made. Yes, they're really good. Binging with Babish episode on YouTube, and he even added bacon to it. I got to tell you guys, I love that little movie. It's so special. Is Treasure Planet the same as Atlantis? I loved Atlantis. I don't think so. I think they're different. Yeah, I think they're different. Yeah, I think they're different. Oh my God, that rendition of her was fantastic. Yeah, 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 yeah. I did this all the time. I used to sing all the jingles to the serials when my mother pushed me in a cart when I was about 1 or 2 years old. And people probably thought this kid watches too much television, but I mimicked every single character. I think that's where I got it from. Sydney is referring to your He's a Tramp cover for restaurants. Yeah, isn't that fun? Yeah, yeah. Well, you work with what you got, Sydney, okay? So I'll tell you a quick story before I leave. I was auditioning for Henson, and they brought all the women in to play brats, those characters, those dolls, which are a little bit risque for kids, I thought. But anyway, maybe I'm just too prudish. Anyway, they all have their voices in higher ranges. Way up here, they have their voices, and they brought me in to audition as the character. And I went in because there are girls that are in the Henson group of puppeteers, the Henson box of tricks, if you will. These wonderful puppeteers who have higher voices. One of them is Julianne Busher. She has a very strong high voice. And there's others that have the voices in the soprano range, if you will, but mine is not. Mine is first tenor or alto. Not baritone, but it can go. I was in a barbershop quartet and I sung tenor for a very long time. And if not alto. If it's music statements you don't understand, you should get to the tribe because we've got a guy named Darren who really could help you. But anyway, I went into the audition and I sat with the producers in there and I said, this is just a waste of your time because I'm not going to get those high ranges that these brat girls need to achieve. So I think it would be better. You got 6 girls out there that are so good at hitting that range because that's where their voices live. And I'm more in the lower ranges. And so it would not be good for me to try and push my voice to a place that I know it just won't go. I just don't see any reason to do that. They were very surprised that I said this. And they said, well, would you be willing to audition with your voice? Just do your voices. And I said, yeah, I'd love to do that. Just keep them in the low, just stay in your range. If you want to do it and you want to talk in this low, sexy voice or whatever, then just do it. And so I did. I auditioned with the lower ranging voices, which is my voice. And I got cast for Bratz, but which was really funny because Henson was doing this video, 3D video, where you had people in the performance capture suits with the balls that you see, and then we were on the Big One system doing the performing, right? This stuff. Anyway, so he brought me in, and I said, "Wow, I didn't expect to be cast." And they said, "We know you didn't, but we needed someone to do all the boy characters." So I ended up performing all the boy characters. So I was all the boy characters in this Bratz thing that the Hensons did. I don't even remember the title of that. It was a while back. But how lovely. So if you're confident when you're auditioning and you say things and you do things, this is the thing that happens. In fact, there's a great show on A&E called, I think it's called Face to Face, or Face to Face with, and it's like Face to Face with Arnold Schwarzenegger, Face to Face with Clint Eastwood, Face to Face with, and they talk to people who talk about what it was like to be face to face with this person and what they did. And the one I watched was Arnold Schwarzenegger because I'm a big Schwarzenegger fan. I met him years ago. And I just love Schwarzenegger. Just love his work in films. Good, bad, crap. Love it. Just love this like Conan. I love to hear the lamentation of the women. Just don't care. Just love it. Anyway, long story short, too late. I saw this, and they talked about Commando, which is a movie that many people think is terrible, but I love. So, so there was a guy, Ray Dong Chong, who plays the lead female in Commando. She tells a story in that. Find it. I can't tell it here. Find it. Watch it. You're going to fall off your chair, about someone who just took the audition and commanded it and made it work, and just magical. And if you're an actor or actress and you're like me, you're very hit and miss with your auditions, because it's the truth, God's honest truth. I'm hit and miss with my auditions so well. It helps you to understand that you're not alone. A lot of people are hit and miss in auditioning. Auditioning is cold turkey. So, you're reading it cold. So there you go. Anyway, hope you like it. I'm guessing you didn't see Steve Martin in The Jerk, 1979. Oh, I did. The new phone book's here. The new phone book's here. But that was a different kind of jerk, wasn't it? Yeah. In fact, he's the one, The Jerk, that movie, The Jerk, is the reason that I don't let even a half a penny go from me. I ask it back. Okay. Because Steve Martin in that movie discovers that there's like a half a cent missing. And the guy says, so what? It's a half a cent. He collects it all and becomes a billionaire or something. Yeah. So see, I do watch those movies. Indeed, I do. Yeah. 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 Uh-huh. My song I use to cry is on cue is I Hope You Dance. And what is that from, Sydney? What is that from? I Hope You Dance. Remember me and my music when it comes to titles. Adam says, my question is, have you seen Anaconda, Curse of the Blood Orchid, aka 2? Because I'm curious what you think about that. It's a dumb movie I enjoyed because I know it. Well, they're seriously dumb. I mean, come on. No Anaconda is going to do what this does, but that's what makes it special. If you see Anaconda 1, well, who is it? Eric Stoltz, I think, is the guy who's like the leader of the expedition in 1. And they could only use him for a day. So he gets like bit by something and is, for the rest of the whole movie, he's like laid up, and then he pops out at the end to talk. That was great. Come on. That's a lemonade out of lemons moment. And that's what I love about stuff like that. So I know I saw it. I just don't remember it too well. And I actually did. One day I'll tell you the story of how I met. I met him and told him that was my favorite. That was my favorite scene, is when he got spit up by the snake. Oh, you'd never seen a face so shocked in all your life. It was hilarious. Connie says, good heavens, you sang Baby of Mine. Now I'm reaching for my tissue. Love it. I mean, see? It does it every time. And Disney has to remember, you cannot cut those sad moments short. That when an animation movie makes you feel that so deeply, and then there's a happy moment, it's just, it can't be beat. That's a beat you need to keep. Okay. In Bambi, when Bambi has his tragic, we need to feel that. We need to be sad with Bambi. And then we become strong with Bambi again. So this is so important in animated films. Don't cut it short. Don't make it all Band-Aid happy, because doesn't work. And we know it doesn't work. And we want to feel a movie. We don't just want to watch a movie. We want to feel the movie. Okay. So Connie, you're absolutely right. 100%. Have a wonderful Monday, everyone. Thank you for keeping me on track, Bonnie. Hope you have a fantastic day. Keep the fantastic work. You too. And we'll do a Zoom call on Wednesday. Yeah, with the tribe. So I hope you'll consider joining. Where are we? Adam says she asked where the song is from. Let's see. Leanne Warmick sings it. Oh, awesome. And you guys are funny. I have a tattoo. I hope you dance on my foot in my mind handwriting. How fun is that? Moms. Awesome. That's excellent. All right, guys, do something nice for someone else. It'll make you feel a whole lot better. Christmas is coming. How are you going to celebrate it? Want to know more? I'll tell you how I do with my family, and we'll talk more. Okay. Love you bunches. Hugs. Mwah! You guys are awesome. We'll see you again Friday. Bye for now.